All right, guys, thanks for your patience. We want to get our sponsor out of the way. Our sponsor is My Fulfillment Team. They are a state-of-the-art inventory processing company. They're family-owned and operated. You source, we process, you profit. You can register on their site at myfulfillmentteam.com. They receive, they store, they prep, pack, ship, Amazon plus on-demand shipping for eBay, e-commerce, whatever platform you do, they do. They're a specialized prep company you can trust, family-owned and operated, like I said, for 8+ years. Never touch your inventory again. Automate your process. Pay for only the services you need. Check them out at myfulfillmentteam.com. All right, guys, thanks, and welcome to the show. Again, sorry for the late start. I'm really excited to have my guest here today. My guest today has been a speaker on Funnel Hackers Live 2018. I don't know if you know of what that is, but that's Russell Bronson's live event he puts on every year. It's one of the biggest events for entrepreneurs, for ClickFunnels type people. And she was a guest on there, and she had some exciting stuff that she talked about. I'm really pleased to introduce you to Alison Prince today. Alison Prince is going to be talking about how her 10-year-old and 13-year-old built, get this, guys, a 6-figure business that they sold in 9 months. So if you have children and you're on this webinar, you are absolutely in the right place. She's going to show you what children can do. Alison, it's my pleasure to have you here today. Thanks for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be fun. So how do you want to get started? Do you want me to just get into it? Do you want to ask questions?
Well, I would, first of all, for the people that don't know you on this show, it would probably be good to introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about you and what you do, how you got started, and where you are now, and what you're going to be talking about.
Absolutely. So I started out by getting lied to my whole life. I went to school, to junior high and high school, and everyone told me that to get financial security, I needed to go to college. So I went to college and I studied hard and I got my degree and I got my first real job, and I was really excited about it because it was going to triple my income. And like, so excited. Worked super hard my first month. They handed me my first paycheck and they said, you also qualify for food stamps. What I forgot to tell you is that my husband and I were making $8,000 at the time. And so when I did get my job that tripled my income, it wouldn't even allow us to pay for food. And that was like the biggest slap in the face. I had spent all this time working so hard getting my degree. And I was a junior high math and science teacher, so I knew I wasn't going to be super rich, but I thought I would be able to at least afford my own food. And so that was the biggest wake-up call for me, that I needed to figure out how to start being able to pay for stuff. And my husband was going to school at the time when I graduated, and so like we couldn't go afford courses, or heck, I don't even know if we had we could afford a computer at that time. And so I went to the library and I just started getting books and magazines and reading as much as I possibly could. And I started to dabble in the online or in the business world a little bit. And then when I discovered the online world, it was like the heavens and the angels were singing, because by that time I had children at my feet. I couldn't go out and get a 9-to-5 job. It would cost more for daycare. And so I knew this was the right path, the online world. And so I just started to dive into it. But I didn't have any money. Like, I had less than no money. And so I had to look around to see what resources I had. And so one of the first things I found out about the e-commerce world, and I was like, okay, this is it. I can do this. But I didn't have any money. So I looked around my makeshift office and I found this roll of vinyl for vinyl lettering. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I chopped it down into sheets, and I sold that, and that was my first product. And I sold it, and I'm like, whoa, this is so magical. Day 2, I sold something else, and it completely bombed. Day 3, I sold something else, completely bombed. Almost walked away from it. Almost just said, all right, I just better go back to teaching. We'll figure out daycare. We'll ask grandma. but I had this feeling, don't give up, don't give up. And so day 4, I launched a product and it did really well. And I knew the journey of entrepreneurism was kind of a roller coaster ride at that point. But I kept doing it day after day. By year 1, built it into $1 million company. Year 2 is a multi-million-dollar company. And remember, I'm the one that couldn't, like, I was a school teacher. I had no clue how the business world worked at all. 0 clue how the business world worked. So this was a big eye-opener for me. And it really showed me the magic of online, what the online world can do. So that's kind of my intro to how I got into this world.
What I love about your story is that you were a school teacher, which means you have a serving heart. You were an introvert, so you were serving kids. You still kept that part of you, even though now you're an entrepreneur, because now you're serving entrepreneurs and you're helping them become successful. So I love that you still stayed in that same field of what you like doing, and that's actually helping people, whether it be children or helping others. So that's such an awesome thing that you continue to do that.
Yeah,
Guys, I hope you're really excited about this show today, because I know I'm really excited about what she's going to be sharing with you. I mean, because I know from doing Facebook ads and how much money you spend on Facebook ads, and when you have somebody that's going to be telling you that you don't need to have Facebook ads to do this kind of business, I hope that you guys have put your cell phones away, put your remote controls away, got a glass of water or whatever you need to drink. You sit down, relax, give us 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm telling you right now, you are not going to be disappointed with Alison shares with you today. It's just mind-blowing to me for being in this business as long as I have, and how, I'm not going to say how easy she makes it seem, but the practicality of it and what you can do now with the internet is just, it's mind-blowing what she's doing. And I hope you guys are really excited. If you guys are excited, put a 1 in the chat, because I'm about ready to jump out of my chair. And I don't jump out of my chair.
I want to see it, John. I want to see it.
Can you see the chat?
I can see.
There's a bunch of 1s. If you go into the chat part, there's a bunch of 1s right there right now.
I can see them. I can see them.
They're lighting up. They're excited to see. They're excited for you and excited for what you're going to be telling them today. And I'm just real happy that you're here and going to be sharing this information, especially about, like I said, if you guys have children, I mean, what she's done with her children, or what her children have done for themselves at the age of 10 and 13, it's just mind-blowing. Most kids 10 and 13 are not interested in building a business. So this is a great way and a great segue to, wow, if we can do this with our children, what a future this world is going to have. It's just amazing. And I'm going to be quiet now and let her just talk.
So I see Sue, Keith, Dennis, Nicholas, Ed, Dave. Yep, I see them all in here right now. One of the reasons why I started this, and I'll tell you about it in just a second, is because I was frustrated that I was lied to as a kid. I was frustrated that I was told the only way to have financial security was to go to school. And so my husband and I talked about it for a while, and we wanted to teach our children that there's more than one way. And you can really do what you want to and make a living from it. I mean, get on social media, Instagram right now. People are doing some really crazy things and they're making a living out of it. So we went about this is to show our children that they had options. That was what our main thing was. Okay, so is it right if I share my screen? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, she's going to be for you guys that are coming on here, she's got some really cool things that she's going to be doing at the end for you guys that we talked about, that she's done before and whatnot. And I think it's really cool, other than just, doing a drawing for one thing. She's got a really cool idea that she passed on to me. I think you guys will like it.
Okay, so can you see my screen? Can you guys leave a number 2 in the comments if you can see my screen? And then, do you also see the webinar chat? I think I might be the only one that sees that. Oh, good. Ed, Jen, thank you. Good. You see my screen. Sue, Robin, Dennis, thank you guys. Thanks for helping me out with this. Sometimes tech makes us say bad words in our head. All right, now I'm going to show you how my girls sold over $100,000 in 9 months. But I also want to tell you that this is still happening. And the process works today. How do I know it? It's because I did it 3 days ago, and we sold $64,000 in just under 3 days. So this process works. It works.
Can I get a wow in the chat? I mean, 64,000 in 3 days. I mean, I'm envious right now.
This is with zero Facebook ads, zero email list, zero, which is so cool. This is the magic of online sales. This is what Facebook really, like, they don't want you to know because they want a chunk of it, right? I don't want to give. Mark has plenty of money. And you'll see in just a second. No ads, Jen, zero ads. And I'll show you how that happens in just a second. So I'm going to go through this slide deck with you guys. And this is my cute daughter. She's at 10 years old in this picture right here. You guys, they didn't know how to wear deodorant. They didn't know how to curl their hair. This is the age that we're dealing with right here. All right, so let me go through this. So we're going to talk about how they did it in 9 months, six-figure business in 9 months, and how you can do it too. And I've had some people say, well, Allison, it's probably because you were helping them. Well, do you remember the beginning of the story, how I told you that I was running $1 million business? I actually had built a second $1 million business, so I didn't have time to hold their hand. They had to do this. I was busy running my own companies. I just gave them the foundation to do it. And we'll go in that a little bit more. So, all right, I want you to tell me, give me a smiley face emoji if you love your kids to be able to create a six-figure business. Just give me, Chad. That was fast, Chad. You have the fastest fingers here, Ed. Right? Wouldn't we all love our children to, instead of coming up and saying, Mom, I need gas money. Mom, I need money for the movies. They're like, you know what? I've already got the money. Don't worry about it. Like, we would all love this, right? I know. So, and this is what I'm going to be covering. And the interesting thing is how this whole thing got started is my goal, honestly, was I never thought my kids would be full-fledged entrepreneurs. Heck, I was just learning what that word even meant. I was just new in this space. I didn't really know what it all meant. And I knew I would teach them a thing or two, but never dreamed that they would turn into these full-fledged entrepreneurs. So let me back up and tell you a little bit more about how this got started. It was a Saturday. My daughters were sleeping in until 10 and not getting any of their chores done. If you guys have kids, you know the feeling, right? And it was super frustrating. And so my husband and I decided to give them 3 options. Number 1 was move out of the house. Number 2 was you need to do more chores. Or number 3 was you need to start a business. And honestly, we didn't want them to move out of the house, right? They're still little kids. We knew that they wouldn't want to do chores. And so they were like all gung-ho about starting a business. That was what they decided to do. But the problem was they really didn't know how to start a business, and like I was getting my businesses up and running, and so I gave them some guidelines. But honestly, I wanted them to do it. I wanted them to be able to see that success or failure, to help them learn and grow. So I gave them some basic guidelines, point them in the right direction, and let them run. Now, they did have to take a small loan for us. I think our girls had a combined income of 25 cents for the year. They didn't have any money. Like, they jiggled their piggy bank and they didn't have any money. So they did borrow some money from us, which was only about $200. We lent it to them, but honestly, we charged them interest because we wanted them to see how the real world worked. And we wanted them to know that we don't give free money away. They had to earn it. And so we gave them some money. They went out there and went through this process of building their own business. Now, my daughters are pretty amazing, but honestly, they're just like any other teenagers. And I have to show this picture because it cracks me up. When Michaela launched her business, my cute Michaela could not get her locker open. Like, she struggled with it so hard. And then they went through this entire process of building or buying their products, setting up their business, launching their site. And I'll show you what their products are in just a second. But I remember they were driving in the car and Michaela said, Mom, what happens if they don't sell? What happens if I, and she just had all these what ifs start running through her head, which we all feel when we start a business, right? And so it was fun to, I guess not fun, but yeah, it was fun to see her little cute brain think about through this whole process about when you first launch a business, how the fear gets in your head and you just have to learn how to kick that out. And so I said, Kayla, did you set up the site? You know the sales plan? She's like, yes, Mom, yes. And so we talked about why it was good to be nervous and why we're going to keep going until she succeeded. So they went out there, they did this business process, went through the entire thing and started selling it. And you guys, the slide gave it away early, but look at their very first week after they launched it. They sold over $4,000. Remember the picture of Michaela not being able to open up her locker? She was so frustrated by that dang locker. Oh, so frustrated by that locker. But after this first week, I told her that she could pay for someone to open it up for her. And she laughed at that. And eventually she did figure out how to open up that locker. And they did this their very first week because of this little business that they had launched. Now, can you imagine what it would be like to make $4,000 as a 10 and 13-year-old girl? Well, they literally couldn't even wrap their cute little brains around it. And so we had this really cool teaching moment with them. I took my daughters inside, pulled out a pad of newspaper or a pad of paper and wrote down $4,000 and said, girls, you just sold $4,000. Now, when you babysit, how much do you make as a babysitter? And they said, oh, we make about $5 an hour as a babysitter. So we took the 4,000 divided by $5 an hour, and that was 800 hours. Now, to them, that was still such a big number that they couldn't grasp that I said, okay, what if you babysat 4 days a week at, so we took the $800 divided by 4 days a week, and that ended up being 200 babysitting jobs. Now, to them, that still was a little bit of a big concept for them. So I said, okay, let's say you babysit every single day, 5 days a week. How long will that take you? And what we figured out was that it would take a lot of diaper changes. That's what that would equal out to. And so being able to bring back the concept of the babysitting really struck home with them because they understood the babysitting hours. They didn't quite grasp the concept of what $4,000 was. Now, I do have some people that say, well, Alison, it's because you own a site called How Does She? Now, for those of you that don't know what How Does She is, it is a blog that I started in the very beginning. I started that almost a decade ago with a couple of friends. And now it has a great social following. I totally understand that, but I want to show you something outside of the How Does She sphere. On How Does She, I actually I play by the same rules as everyone else does. I don't get any special privileges. Okay, so here are a few numbers outside of the How Does She. This is working with other people, other influencers. So they went and they talked to a gal, Skip to My Lose, her blog, and they did a promotion with her and they sold $10,000. They did, you can see the bottom one right there. They did a promotion. They ended up selling $19,000. And then the middle one was $14,000. So these are numbers outside of my sphere that I have no control out of. And then the entrepreneur bug bit. It was so fun. It was so fun to watch Michaela because it inspired her so much that she got more and more excited and tried out for this little mini Shark Tank pitch at the local college. I'm from Utah, and they have a college called Weber State University. And she did a little Shark Tank pitch on these products I'm about to show you. Okay, she won $1,500. She won a $1,500 check. She was pretty darn excited about it. And I was about to say, okay, Kayla, let's talk about babysitting hours. And she came back to me and explained to me why it was so much more, she made so much more doing this pitch than babysitting. So she was in turn teaching me what I had taught her a little while ago. Let's see. Is it okay? Do you want me to do questions now or questions at the end?
If you guys have questions, you can post them and I'll watch the questions. But I just wanted to mention something too, because Allison talked to me off camera when we had a chat a while back, and she told me that I see that you put smart kids. They are smart kids. However, she shared with me that they weren't honor society kids and they were able to figure this out. So they don't have to be the top of the line, smartest kids in the world to figure this business out. I just want you guys to know, if you're on this call or on this webinar, that anybody can do it. It's just a system that they put in place to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly it. Oh, you can see her dancing right here. She's pretty excited. So after they had this, the entrepreneur bug bit, and they're like, Mom, where else can we do this? They were so excited about it. And so they went out and they did it over and over and over again. And that's where they ended up selling over the $100,000. Now, I don't know about you, but most of their friends are not selling $100,000 in 9 months. Like most of their parents aren't even doing that either. And the funny thing about this is their friends are a little bit confused at everything that they do. In fact, my daughter just turned 17 and just barely got her license, just barely got her license. She wasn't ready to get her license, and she kept telling us, Mom, I'm just going to use Uber. I'm just going to use Uber to get to school. And I'm like, what? No way. But she could really make that happen. She could really pay Uber to take her where she wants to go. And she made that a reality. Okay, so Jen, yeah, so they did promotions, and I'll talk about the promotions in just a second. Yeah, they did. There's a couple of different promotions that you can do. So this was just one of the promotions that we did, and I'll talk about those in just a second. That's a great question. Okay, so it actually inspired their brothers to sell rocks. Now, before you laugh at this, think about the ROI on this. Their investment was $0, right? And then they went out and they made $9. That's a heck of a return. And in fact, I have someone in, we call ourselves Because I Can Clan, and she actually did the same thing and ended up making $13,000 in a month. So when anybody says they sell rocks, just smile, because it can be a heck of an ROI. It's pretty fun. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to show you the process that my daughters took, then how, more importantly, how you can do it too. And then third thing, will you guys in the comments write how many kids or grandkids you have? I would love to know how many kids or grandkids you have. And then if you want to spend more quality time with them, you can do this just like I did. In fact, you might just let them be able to pay for all your stuff. Jana has 10 grandkids, Gail 4, Ada 2. It says I am a kid. Always a kid, always a kid. Okay, so here are the 3 secrets that made this happen. Number 1, by having a Shark Tank idea will actually cause you to fail. A lot of people get stuck here and think they have to have this big, huge idea. And if you have a big idea, most of the time you'll fail, and I'll show you why. Number 2, the little known trick that sold $1.1 million in pillowcases in less than 24 months with 0 following. The reason why I did this right here is because people said, Allison, you have that blog, How Does She? So I actually did it completely off How Does She with nothing attached to it. And I'll show you how I did that in just a little bit. And it's similar to that same story that I told you right before we started about the $64,000 in under 3 days. And then secret number 3, the 2-hour-a-week part-time job that you can do while your kids nap or instead of Netflix. So secret number 1, by having a Shark Tank idea will actually cause you to fail. Okay, this is legit. The number 1 question I get asked all the time is, Allison, this is so cool, but I don't have a new idea. I want to get started. And then they go down this big dark rabbit hole of, I got to think of a new invention. How am I going to get it made? And it just starts overwhelming them and people stop. Well, I've been doing e-commerce for over 8 years now, and I've never had to have a Shark Tank idea. And I've done amazingly well at it. I don't even know what I would do for a Shark Tank idea at the moment. So here's an example. Woods had invested $130,000 of his own money, came up with a prototype. You guys know where this is going to spiral. Damon John told him it was the worst pitch he'd ever seen on the show. Cuban told him he was full of crap. Needless to say, Woods didn't get a deal. He lost at least $130,000 plus a ton of time. Here's another one. It was some ab machine. You can see at the bottom, Cochran's told Forbes he lost my $50,000. And if you research this one, it kind of just spirals down pretty fast in it. And then you can hear Mr. Wonderful saying, you're burning money. And that's what can happen with big Shark Tank ideas. People spend thousands of dollars out of their pocket buying all sorts of junk, going to China, spending money. It turns out no one wants the product at all. And to me, that's what a lot of people are doing. And honestly, I'm not that crazy. In fact, like Shark Tank ideas, like I said before, scare me. I don't want to do that. So instead of being creative, I look for trends. What are the trends that people are already buying? This part does not need to be hard. So for example, who has a pillowcase? Like, you don't have to answer that, but who has a pillowcase? Everyone has a pillowcase, right? So I found the trend, bought pillowcases, and $1 million later, we have a pretty cool little side business that I currently now run in 2 hours a week. This is the key, you guys. This is the key. You do not have to have a Shark Tank idea, no matter how much you think you do. You start watching Shark Tank and you see how many people waste their entire life savings. And I don't have life savings to blow on this, and neither do you. So I'm going to show you how to take these things that are actually hot. That way there's like zero chance of failure, and you're selling what people are buying. And that's the key. The secret to success is rule number 1, sell what people are buying. Are you ready to see what my girls sold? Bum, bum, bum. Building the anticipation. Scarves. Scarves, you guys. How many billions of scarves have been sold? Like, I don't even think there's a number high enough, right? But they saw the trend. They saw the trend and they wrote it. They sold these chevron scarves. Nothing fancy, right? I know, it's pretty cool. Okay, so secret number 2, no social following. You do not need to have a huge following. So a lot of people tell me that I have a following or big social media on my website, and I totally understand. And we all start at 0, right? And I know I have a following today. Because of that, I wanted to prove that this was actually possible. So what I did was I picked a whole new market where I had 0 fans, 0 followers, and it was a pillowcase. And I found out that the pillowcase were a hot trend, especially a certain type of pillowcase. And here's a screenshot of the Facebook page. It's like my mom and my brother that like this face, and a couple friends. And I guarantee you, my mom and my brother did not make this company $1 million business. I promise. No. Whoop-de-doo, right? Nobody likes this page, and it's fine because I don't ever push it anywhere. So this is what I did. I reached out to an influencer or a blogger. The names used to be blogger, now it's more influencer. Now, some of you guys know what influencers are. They actually get paid to talk about products. So I found these pillowcases and I sent 5 pillowcases to this influencer. Her blog is Make It and Love It. Ashley, I love that woman. She's amazing. And she got the pillowcases, loved them. She posted about them and showing the pillowcases. And we had a bunch of people click on that link and buy 228 pillowcases. So the top row right there is a screenshot of the transactions. These cases sold for $15 with free shipping, which equaled out to a gross of $3,400. The blogger made just under $500 and got the free pillowcases. And so that brought down a net of just under $3,000. Now, at the end of the day, when everything, like my net, what I put in my pocket is about $5 per pillowcase. So I walked away with over $1,100 in my pocket in 24 hours. Do you guys see how much money I paid Facebook? Zero. This influencer, I didn't give her a set amount to start with. This was all based on how much she sold. So it's zero risk for me. Zero risk. Like, which is magic, right? Whoop-de-doo, awesome. Okay, so how many bloggers, influencers are there out in the world? There's so many, gajillion million, right? And that's with one person. And then I went to the next and I did the same thing, and she sold 312 pillowcases, and they did it again and again. And in 24 months, we sold $1.1 million in pillowcases, because this was my side business. Like, I was still running that other multi-million-dollar business, so I didn't have a lot of time to spend on it. I was just trying to prove a concept here, and it worked. It worked. Okay, so if I can do this with pillowcases, which is like one of the worst product ideas ever, and it's not super trending, and this is just one of our businesses. The one that did the $64,000, that's a different business. I think I have an issue with building businesses. I like to do it because the process works and it's super fun. I love to see it. Let's see. All right. Okay, Jen, I'll answer your question in just a second. I'm glad you're asking these questions. All right, so I know, good issue, right? Secret number 3, okay, go back to my husband. Bless his heart. Like, all my friends, they love to cook and bake, and I hate cooking and baking. I just want to make money. Like, I'm sorry. We're going to have to pay someone to make food for us. But he's become a really good cook. You find your passion, right? Okay, secret number 3, the 2-hour-a-week part-time job you can do while your kids nap. You guys, we're busy, right? We're just busy human beings, and we can't sacrifice. Like, well, you're doing stuff right now, right? When I was running a multi-million-dollar business, and then I started another business. There's a way to do this without sucking your whole life away. So, like, here's a picture right here of my sweet grandpa. I post him a lot on my Instagram account. And in this moment right here, he's telling my girls that boys are a bad idea. That boys have cooties. And if I was stuck at the office working, I would have missed this moment. He's 95. We don't have that much time with him anymore. And so when I can capture these moments, this is what life is truly all about, right? Is with your family. He is the most amazing man. His wife, my grandma, just passed away. They were married for 74 years. 74 years. I try to soak everything I can up from this good man, because he's so, and look at his hair. My goodness, he has more hair than I do. He has beautiful thick hair, not one bald spot. So as much as money is nice, it's not worth giving up your family at all. Okay, so I want to show you this story right here. This is my sister. It's one of my favorite stories, not because it's my sister. You'll see why in just a second. But the roof on her house was falling apart. Her husband was working super hard as an accountant. But you guys, they were living paycheck to paycheck, budgeting. She was going garage sale shopping, and they just couldn't get enough money to repair their roof. Can you guys imagine that? Fear of every rainstorm. She would call me like, I'm so afraid it's going to leak into my house and my sheetrock's going to be ruined. So she came to me and said, okay, I just watched what your daughters did, her nieces, right? What can I do? I don't have time to do things, Allison. I've got 3 kids. I don't have time to do this. What can you do? How can you teach me to do this? So I said, well, you are going to need to set up a little bit of time in the beginning. It does take a little while to get it up and going. But now, like, it's literally 2 hours a week, sometimes only 1 hour a week. And over the summer, there's been times where I've skipped it because I'm at home with my family. And so I helped her. I showed her. She spent some time, a few weeks getting it set up, took a couple weekends off, had her husband watch the kids, and she focused getting this built out. And when she was done, she was able to launch her business with the process I just showed you. And you guys, bum, 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 she got her new roof. It was pretty exciting. Okay, so here's a picture of her family over Halloween. They normally don't dress like penguins. And this is such a cool story, but actually goes a little deeper. They've been wanting to adopt a fourth baby for a long time. And if you guys know, adoption is not cheap. Like, oh, it's so expensive. And they put in their papers and found out that it was going to cost them $50,000. And most people don't have $50,000 laying around, and they didn't either. Heck, they didn't even have enough to cover their roof a year ago. But they took this little business, they saved money to be able to pay for adoption. And you guys, that's what like this whole thing is about. It's not that get rich quick scheme junk that's out there on the internet. Like, this is about changing lives and helping them be more comfortable. And so she ended up selling over $120,000 in 9 months. I don't know if she was in competition with my girls, but she made more than my girls did. And you guys, this is the results. This right here, this sweet baby is the baby that she was able to pay those adoption fees with that money from her business. Don't you just want to kiss those cheeks off? I know, right? It's amazing. She is growing her family with her business, not out buying crazy stuff. Like, this is life-changing stuff that's happening. Okay, Matt and Joe. I went to high school with Matt and Joe, and I haven't seen them in forever. And I saw them at a craft show, and I was like, I didn't know you guys did this craft show stuff. And they're like, yeah. And I said, how's it going? And they said, honestly, we're getting really frustrated. We've been sitting here all weekend long, and we've only made $80. And I'm like, oh, $80? That stinks. And they said, hey, you want to try something? And they're like, sure, Allison, we'll try something. So they went out there, did the same process as my daughters did, my sister did, and they ended up selling over $35,000 in 3.5 weeks. This was during their launch phase. They told me that they paid off their cars, and now they're working to pay off their mortgages. They've got a couple rental properties that they've paid off. This is pretty cool, right? $80 to $35,000. Yeah, and they've well crossed 7-figure mark at this point in their business. Okay, here's Carrie right here. She wanted to give up. She messaged me and said, I hate business. I can't do this anymore. And I said, just try this process. She's done well over $100,000. In fact, her accountant about fell off his chair. She showed me the screenshot of what her accountant said. It just made me crack up that she's making this her reality too. Bree had zero, nothing, didn't even know how to start a business, no LLC, anything. And she went from zero to almost $8,000 in 45 days while working and just doing this on the side. Her husband, I'll show you in a second, was super skeptical and thought, what is this scam you're getting into? And he's sent me a few messages on how she's doing for you. Okay, so all right, so I'm sure most of you guys came in the web class. You want to make this happen, but you're more curious about what I'm talking about. So I wanted to ask you, if you were to go out there and not find a Shark Tank idea, but find something trending, right? And from that same process where I take you, show you how to have influencers promote it, and you get out there with, you don't need that email list, you don't need that huge social following, and then you can do this within, while your kids are napping. You think you could do this? You think you could have a successful business? You got to write in the notes below, guys. Like, remember, we have to do two-way right here. Yes, Janet says yes. Good, Janet. Yay, yay, yay. Dennis, yes. Robin, yes. Good, good, good. Okay, now you might not go out there and make $1 million like I did with pillowcases. That's a cool story. But what if you did like my daughters and you sold $100,000? Wouldn't that change your life? And what if you weren't even able to do it like my daughters and you made $10,000 in a week? Like, wouldn't that be crazy cool? Jen says, yes, definitely. So I'm going to ask you the question, and I know I've been going fast. John, I don't know how long we've been on this thing. I know most of you guys are excited. I see it. I'd buy my son a house. Oh my gosh, Janet, you get Mom of the Year award. But you're wondering what the first step is in this whole thing. And like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited. I get so dang excited when I talk about this stuff because I see it happening every single day. And you're wondering, like, what are the trends? How do I find them? And I wish I could share it all with you, but I've actually put this special package together that those that actually want to implement this and make it happen. And I've put together this really cool program that walks you through the whole process, literally step by step with a roadmap so that you can have this business as well. When you guys love a little side business like that, I do. Like, I have so many of them. You'd buy me a house, Dennis. We're best friends now.
I'd be best friends with Dennis if he bought me a house.
Dennis, you're officially now our BFF. Okay, so this program that I set up, it's called the 0 to 100K system because I literally take you through the steps of going from 0 to 100K. Now, initially you're going to spend the first little bit with a little bit more setup time. You can knock this out over weekends or late nights. Remember, my girls did it. They were in school. They literally only had nights and weekends to do this. And then you get the thing up and it's working and it's done. And so why is it 0 to 100K? It's because I go over the process in 6 weeks to give you everything you need to know about the trending products, how to get it from China, where and how to sell it. It's literally step by step so that you can make this happen. So here we go. The 0 to 100 6-week system, 0 to 100K 6-week system is valued at $9,997. Now, when I went to college, you guys remember in the beginning of the story when I went to college? College cost about $30,000. And at the end of the thing, I got the degree that gave me food stamps. Food stamps, right? It was like I'd been slapped in the face when they handed me my first paycheck. So the value of this is worth so much more than the $9,997 I put right here. I did it at this price because this process I'm going through has made me 1,000 times more than my college education ever did, and it has made Annie a whole bunch more than hers. So to be conservative, I did put it at $10,000, just under $10,000. But if you put it next to college, it's way better, right? Second thing, once you get into the system and you find your trending product, you're going to say, whoa, wait, who do I talk to? How do I get these products? And China is very far away, right? And I've been to China 7 times. I've spent months and years building out my favorite manufacturers to work with. I weeded out all the junk and found my rock star manufacturers, trying to find the distributors that can get me the right stuff. You can see me over on the left with my blue purse, and then in the middle with blonde hair, like walking the halls, touching the products, finding out the best manufacturers out there. And at first I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to get samples from Alibaba. And I'd email the people in China. They'd send me a sample. I'd send them a check for $7,000, or I wired the money. I got the products in, opened up the boxes, and you guys can like look at this picture right here. It actually makes me sick looking at it because I opened it up and it was broken into pieces of nothing. They did not know how to package their products, and it was literally a pile of trash valued at $7,000. And I had to, like, how am I gonna sell this? I was so stressed. And so there are so many manufacturers in China, and you can't trust them all. But the cool thing is that I've worked with the 200-300 manufacturers, and from that I found the factories I can trust. And I actually include my little black book of manufacturers that's valued at $1,989 because it's got their names, their contacts, their email, their phone number. of those that I work with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my little black book. It will save you 24 months of trying to go through Alibaba, AliExpress, and give you my manufacturers that can make your dreams become a reality, because the value of this, I put it at just under $2,000, but each time I go over, I spend at least $10,000. Like, this is going to save you so much stress and so many thousands of dollars getting quality products. And these are the products that I use, or these are the manufacturers that I use. So you get the 0 to 100K 6-week system valued at $9,997. The little black book of manufacturers valued at $1,989. You guys, if I would have had just these two things when I got started, I can't imagine how many less gray hairs I would have at this point in my life, or how many less wrinkles. Oh, this alone, I would have done anything for this amount of information when I first got started. Okay, so here's the next part. Third thing I'm going to do is, I've told you before that I don't have a way to help you find Shark Tank ideas. Like, that would be really hard for me to do, but you have to find the trends, right? So there are websites that I go to that show me the trends. They show me which ones are hot and which ones are worth doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick training that shows you how to find these trends. This is the exact same thing that I give my team, the exact same training that I give my team to find the trending products that have helped me to literally sell millions and millions and millions of dollars in products. I show you how to find them, then show you how to find if it's a profitable markup, and then if it is, boom, email one of these guys in China, and within 2 weeks to 3 months, the product's going to be sitting on your door. I've actually included the USA version too, so I've actually got a China and a USA version of the little black book. Okay, so secret trend generator. The value of this is at least $9.97, because it's like, I think it's like looking into the crystal ball, saying where are the cells, and it shows you. Like, it's the coolest thing in the world. So you get the 0 to 100K 6-week system valued at $9,997. The little black book of manufacturers valued at $1,989. Secret trend generator valued at $997, for a total value of $12,983. Okay, so what else do you need to be successful? So in this, like, my goal was to make sure you had everything that you need to be successful. And the next piece is the selling part. Now, there's a whole bunch of influencers out there in the world, right? And the worst thing you can do is go to an influencer and say, hey, I've got this product, you should sell it. They'll say no, and it'll be really awkward, right? But what usually happens is, or what can happen is, these bloggers are friends. And if you do a really bad job, they talk, and you're not going to get anywhere. But if you do a really good job, they talk, and your products will get blown out of the water. And this is what has happened multiple times with the pillowcases that I've done. We've actually had to stop production because we ran out of the inventory, which is a really good problem to have, right? And that's what I show you how to do, like a step-by-step process to make that happen.
No, what's a really good problem to have is no ad spend.
Amen on that. So I have included the golden influencer formula with a template included on how to find these influencers, which ones will convert, how you talk to them, and how to get more yeses. And so I give you the pitch template that I use. Like, this is the same one I use today. And I give you a list of my favorite influencers that I have used. Like, I give you my list that I have sold on and have worked in the past, have sold many products for me. I give you that list. They have sold pillowcases and scarves, and I've given their name, their email, and their Instagram handle, or their emails, blogs. And then I show you how to even get more too. I show you exactly how to find them all, going super detailed with that. So when your product is ready, you use the pitch template, you tell them about it, and just think if you can get one person to say yes. My daughters had one influencer say yes, and she sold $4,000. That was one yes. Can you imagine how cool that would be? One yes was all it took. What if you got 2 yeses? What if you get 3 yeses? You guys can make a lot of money, a lot of money. So 0 to 100K system, 6-week system valued at $9,997. The little black book of manufacturers valued at $1,989. The secret trend generator valued at $997. The golden influencer formula template included valued at $999 for a total value of $13,982. Okay, next thing, how to sell. I've found an easier way to sell without clunky websites. I don't know about you guys, but I hate tech. I hate tech. Like, blah. I hate it. But I found an easier way to sell without super clunky websites or having to know code, because half the time I can't even log into Gmail correctly. And so I built shops and I built funnels, getting them set up in 24 minutes. This was one of the very first ones I did. We sold $500. Look at the other one, $11,000 in 7 hours. This one was, you can see, June 28th. So just barely, right? Guys, this isn't like what happened 5 years ago. This is what's I'm currently doing, what's currently working today, because I like to talk business. And I give you my exact templates that I use and checklists, like literal checklists, literal templates. One of the things I use is called funnels. I use ClickFunnels, and I literally give you the funnel that I use currently for you just to slurp into your account. It's copy and paste. You just replace the pictures, put your own pricing there, and then you get it up and running. So it's pretty easy. I like to find easier things with technology because it stresses me out. Okay, so what else? Okay, this is my favorite, like way favorite thing. We've got a Facebook group. This isn't just a one and done thing. It's an absolute community, because I know the entrepreneur journey isn't from A to B to C to D. You're going to go A to B to red to green to 5 to D. That's the entrepreneur journey, right? And so when I started, I wished I had a community to be able to say, hey, what about this? Or hey, what about that? To bounce ideas off of, or to see what other people in my area were doing. And so that's why when I built this, I built it to what I wish I had when I first got started. And so this Facebook group is like, oh, it's my favorite part. I love it. I'm in there every Friday doing questions and answers, where I get in and I personally answer all your questions and answers. I know this is a journey. This is the roadmap, like the big overview roadmap right here of getting into that 100 grand clan is what we call it. We call ourselves the Because I Can clan. Why? Because I can. Because we can literally do this today. We have the technology. We don't have to go out and buy a storefront anymore. We have to go out and get a bank loan. We can literally do this like my girls did it, and they were 10 and 13. Little tiny squirts right there. So this Facebook group, oh, I love it. So 0 to 100K 6-week system valued at $9,997. Little black book of manufacturers valued at $1,989. Secret trend generator valued at $997. A golden influencer formula with a template included valued at $999. A private Facebook group with weekly coaching. I know it says monthly there, but it should say weekly, because every Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, I am in there, for a total value of $14,977. Now, I'm not going to charge the almost $15,000, but if you look at this, it's about half of what college education charges, right? Some colleges, that's what you pay per semester. And at the end of it, you get a piece of paper that doesn't do anything. Mine was a teaching degree and I qualified for food stamps. You guys, I'm talking about creating a system that you and your family can use in as little as 2 hours a week. An entire business is paying you. And all you have to do is get one yes to make money. My daughter's got one yes. So if I did charge the $15,000 and all you did was get 5 yeses, then it would pay for itself instantly. It's totally worth it, right? Now, if all the system did was give you a chance to connect with your son or daughter and teach them how to become an entrepreneur, to get them from stop watching those dang video games to producing and creating things to set up their own future, would it be worth $15,000? I know I would spend a heck of a lot more on my kids' future. Wouldn't you? Now, if all this did was give you the ability to where you could help your family's financial situations, where you could make a little extra money on the side, pay off debt, adopt a child, buy your son a house, wouldn't that be worth it? Yeah, like totally cool, right? All right. So, and I've got 2 ways that I can price this. Obviously, I just can't make this free for everyone. And I found out that if I give stuff away for free, people don't put value on it. I know, I've seen it. The people that I gave it to away for free are literally doing nothing with it. It's so frustrating. But those that have paid are rocking it. But I don't want to charge a ton of money, and I do want to charge what it's worth. So I have 2 options to give away for free and keep my fingers crossed that people will use it, which I know doesn't work. Or number 2 is have an accountability system where I can get in and give the time, the effort, the energy, have a staff that can support you to help you be successful. And so because of that, I am going to charge, but it's not a lot. In fact, I'm not going to charge you almost $15,000 right here. I'm actually going to give a discount. So I'm going to cross this out, and instead of paying the almost $15,000, you guys can get started today for 4 payments of $299 or 1 payment of $997. Or, okay, here's the cool thing. I've been working super hard. We actually just released this like 3 weeks ago. You can do financing with PayPal for 6 months with 0 interest. Now, I know for some of you guys it may seem like a lot, and I totally understand. But the way that I set this up, and I've been fighting for that PayPal financing, is to help you let your future business start paying for itself. And the way this works is, let's say you're doing the PayPal financing option. You get in, you pay the minimum amount for 6 months, and it's interest-free. So you can get in there, you can start building this thing out, get your products, get it shipped here. Everything is going to be working. And you guys, some people have their business up and running and are able to pull this off well before the 6-month mark hits. Their business is generating income to be able to pay off the rest of the payments. It's the coolest thing. You guys, oh, I love it. The business basically pays for itself. Pretty cool, right? So it's 1 payment of $997, 4 payments of $299, or you can do the PayPal financing with 0 interest for 6 months. And so to get started, you just go to 0-100k.com/go right there. So now, you guys, it's, what is it, Tuesday today, and we get so distracted and things are running around. We're like, oh, I'll get to it later tonight. But I don't want you guys to do that. You guys, the system works over and over and over, proven. I show you exactly what's working today because I continually do this, and I update my group on a constant, regular basis. And I know you guys are excited right now because I'm excited. And I want to make sure that you actually do this. So what I'm going to do, if when you get this before midnight tonight, I'm going to throw in the expert bonus section. Now, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail what the expert bonus section is, but it is like gold, and I so wish I would have had this, where I bring in experts in the accounting, in the law, in the importing world to help you create the most solid, exciting business possible. So I'm going to throw that in, but that's if you get it before midnight tonight. Okay, so I want to show you a couple screenshots that have just absolutely made me happy, made me smile. Over to the left, Jessica. Jessica just had her 5th baby. I think she's probably 3, maybe 2 weeks old, just super, super tiny. She just posted this that says, I feel weird posting sometimes because I'm not trying not to brag. For those of you that are wondering about profit, over 4,000 of this screenshot right here is pure income. I'll take 1,000 of that, put more into inventory, keep the ball rolling. She's a stay-at-home mom and works about 2 hours a day, so I call this a win, which, yeah, total win. Rebecca, right here, she just hit the 10 grand clan. That's what we call it. A clan win is when you make your first dollar, 10 grand clan, 50 grand clan, and 100 grand clan. So we got to celebrate Rebecca when she hit her 10 grand clan. And then the one on the right, remember how I was telling you about the rock story? This is her story right here. She sold over $13,000 in rocks. Rocks, you guys. Like, yeah. People ask me, well, what's the product? It's the process. It's the process of how this works. Is it a book, video series, webinars? It is a video series. It's a video series, and it's got downloads, it's got checklists, it's got swipe files, all just in one nice little, like, beautiful spot. Yeah, Jen, I'll get that for you in just a second. Are you saying someone sold rocks? Yeah, they sold $13,000 in rocks right there. The one on the right. Vanessa's post, the 13,000, she was selling rocks. Not kidding. In 1 day, in 1 month. Let's see. Do you have a PDF on the site of everything you're offering? Yes, I will send that to you in just a sec. I have a lot of rocks next to me. Jen, sell them. Okay, Rachel, 12 hours since I've launched my website. Pretty exciting. Having a huge grand opening weekend. Can't wait to see the numbers. So she made $340. She was brand stinking new. And then over here, after buying this program, tomorrow will be 2 months, halfway to $10,000. She started other things before, and it's the fastest she's ever reached $5,000 before in sales. So we got to celebrate Rachel on that one. Sorry, my slides are going funky. Donna, almost $4,000 in 2 months. This is working on my side hustle part-time as I run in-home daycare. 7 kids Monday through Friday, 10 hours a day, and I'm still a wife and a mom to an active sports player. She actually had her son launch a site too, and you guys, he crushed it. He crushed it his opening day, and I think he's around 10 years old. It was pretty fun to see his. Carlene says, never met someone who wants us to succeed. You guys will find out that I literally put my heart and soul into this. I know I could sit behind a computer and sell. Like, I've proven it to myself so many times, but you get to a point where that's not as fulfilling as watching others. It's kind of like the mama bear. When I watch my children work on something and then they achieve it, I get so fulfilled. That's what this does to me. Like, that's why I pour my heart and my soul into it, and helping you guys get those clan wins is because I kind of feel like the mama bear of the group. And I'm protective and I want you guys to get this. Darlene right here, she hit 10 grand clan pretty quickly. She says it was a slower pace, but she did it fast. Angel right here, not too shabby for the first 4 days. She hit $300. Lydia, $3,000. Mindy right here, she hit the 10 grand clan too. Ed says, I'm 13. Ed, do it. Do it. Donna's son was about 10, so you could totally do this. Whoops, right here. Okay, so you guys, 0 to 100K 6-week course valued at $9,997. Secret trend generator valued at $997. Little black book of manufacturer valued at $1,989. Golden influencer formula with a template included valued at $999. Private Facebook group with weekly coaching valued at $995, and the bonus of expert section, which is priceless. 4 payments of $299 or 1 payment of $999, or you can do the PayPal financing for 6 months, 0% interest. You need to just go 0-100k.com/go and make this happen. We do offer the 14-day guarantee because we want you guys to be happy. Jen says, how long does it take to get most people up and running? Jen, it depends, of course. I've had people get in and start making money within as little as 3 days. She had her business license already, and so she was able to get going faster. We have families in there that are only listening to 1 video a week, and so it's taking them a little bit longer. But the faster you get in there, the faster you can see that cash start rolling. Now, I have included a fast track to cash because it is my goal to help you guys get that cash rolling quickly. You guys, we're sitting right now on prime time holiday sales. Like, right now is the perfect time to be ready for holiday sales. When holiday sales hit, there's 2 sides you can be on. You can be on the side that's giving money away, or you can be on the side that's getting all the money. I like to be on the side that's getting the money. My husband and I usually go in another room and we hit refresh and watch as our family, some of our extended family on the other side is like stressing out about if their credit card can hold another payment. So this like total black and white we like to be on the side where we're prepared and people are giving us the money. It makes holidays like zero stress. I love it. Ed, the discount, you just have to go to 0-100K and it's already set up, ready to go for you. Let's see. Okay, Janet says, I think I may want to buy this for my granddaughter. She's 14 in November. Can I buy this for her birthday and she can receive it in another country? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. And my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, she gets in and she'll do Facebook Lives with me. And she's in school right now, so it's a little bit harder, but she does videos and she does like little clips along the way to encourage the younger audience too. So Janet, good question. Jen says, how long are the videos? Each one's different. Some are 2 minutes and some are 30 minutes, depending on the topic. And so I break it down. You get it and see. It's all broken into topics. So if you're wanting to focus on this part or this part, like you can just get in and see. Good question. Business license, meaning creating LLC. Correct, Jen. How long are the videos in length all total? I'm not sure, Janet, because I go in and I read, like I'll update them. And so I don't keep track of them all. I probably should. The thing is with this, it's not just the one and done and then goodbye, Alison, because the trends are changing. And I go in and I'll update a video and then I'll tell you guys, hey, we saw a change. Like this platform is working better than this platform now. That's just the way that the world works. You're buying and the basis of your marketing are going to be the same, but some of the trends on the social platforms change, and I like to keep you guys updated with that. And so those videos will change, and I let you know when they change. Jen says, sorry, we need an LLC to start. So I recommend an LLC, and I think I legally need to say that, but I do have some people that have sole proprietors. Sole proprietor is your social security number, and you can use that. We have a lot of kids in the group that are using their sole proprietor. People in California that don't want to pay the huge LLC fee are using a sole proprietor. I recommend the LLC to keep things different or differentiate your business against your personal, but really it comes down to your personal preference. I would recommend talking to a lawyer if you need to find out more information based on your exact situation. I wish I was no, I don't wish I was a lawyer, but we do have lawyers that you can talk to. Okay, Janice says, you say your daughter started with $200. How much realistically do they need to get inventory and pay for postage? So I go into detail about that. They actually did a pre-sale. So they got the products, took pictures, they pre-sold it, and so they had the money to be able to pay for those products. And so I do teach you that process in there. When I first started, I had little, like less than no money, right? And so how I set up this course was the same way. What if you're coming in with like zero to no money? What's the best way to do that? And that's how I started this. You invest a little, you sell a little, you turn that around, and then you invest in the next thing. And then you start to grow that way. My teachings are totally different than a lot of others that I hear about. You have to buy thousands of dollars of inventory. I talk you out of that every single time. You'll hear me. Don't buy a ton of inventory. Don't buy a ton of inventory. You've got to get your feet wet. You've got to test. You've got to get that money rolling, and then you can start buying more with it. And that's my philosophy. So good question. Let's see. Okay, Janet, specifically, I really do not like 40-hour video courses. You never get through them all. Janet, I agree. They're broken down. Some I'm taking and I'm reducing them, making them more simple. I've actually like literally done a roadmap. So you know what's it called? Like when your kids were little, or if you're still little and you don't have any kids and maybe you did this, is you got to choose your own ending. You go in and then you get to choose your own pathway. So if you're like, you know what, I want to do it with 0 social following, 0 site, 0 URL, you're going to go down this path, and it's going to help you skip to get to your end goal, because some of the videos you won't need. This pathway right here is if you want to start building your brand, you're going to have to do some extra things, and it gives you the exact path you should go. And then I've got 3 paths for you to take. And so you don't have to get in there and watch every single video. It tells you literally the exact ones to get to your goal. So let me know if that helps. Good question. I just purchased, but I see the influencer part is empty. Where will it be online? Okay, so here's the deal with a 14-day guarantee, and yay, I'm excited you're in. The 14-day guarantee is we give you the first half of the course up until day 14, and then day 15, the rest of the course is open. The reason for this is because, you guys, this breaks my heart, but I've had competitors come in, buy my course, steal all the information, and then ask for a refund. And you can see that that just hurts my heart. I've been doing this for a decade. My heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this, building, tweaking, getting this perfected. And so that's why we do the 14-day guarantee. So let me know if that helps. Jen says, and yay, again, yay! I'm glad you're in there. I'm glad you're in there. You'll be getting a surprise from us soon. We don't tell you. I like to over-deliver. You're going to get a surprise in the mail soon. Give us about 2 weeks. Jen says, are all of your manufacturers overseas? Do you sell on one category? So Jen, no. Manufacturers, I have some manufacturers in China, and then I've actually got some manufacturers here in the United States. I also give you my list of vendors too. So if you're not quite ready to go with a manufacturer, I give you some of the middlemen that I used and still use when I'm starting to launch products. So, and then another one category, no. I own a site called Pick Your Plum. We actually just lit recently, and it is in a whole bunch of different categories, like crazy different categories, because it was one product a day, and there's a ton of categories in there. So, and if you have questions, if you're like, hey, I need help with this, I've been known to go in and help you find manufacturers. So good question.
We have some questions also on the actual Q&A, so I'm just going to get to those for you. So I don't know if you could see those or not.
Which ones? Sorry, say that again, John.
They're actually in the Q&A, not the chat. Can you see the Q&A questions or no?
No. I can just see the chat.
Okay, the Q&A, Jen says, is she talking about private label products or RA or OA?
They are your own. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can do this. Your first, if like my girls, they went and they bought someone else's product, and then once they started to see that trend was working, they went over and then they bought their own branded product from China. It's not white labeling, it's buying your own product and shipping it out. Does that answer your question?
Did they actually have their brand created for them?
In the beginning, they did not, until they started getting money coming in, and then they switched it over to their brand.
They got brand registered?
Not like on Amazon?
No, like a trademark and stuff, so no one can copy what they're doing.
I don't think they did.
No, okay. I was like, probably not, but anyway.
It's a scarf, and it's a scarf, right? It's not like, it doesn't have a trademark on it.
Right.
It really was just a scarf with their label on it. People wanted to buy from them because of their reviews and stuff like that. So
okay. Ed said, how much did your daughters sell per unit?
Sell per unit? Like how much was each scarf? Did each scarf cost?
I think that's what he's saying.
But they were $10 per scarf, but we ran promotions on them. And we varied our promotions all over the place. And I would say, Kate, you need to set up a sale. And they would write down, okay, let's do this, let's do this. So it was fun to watch them and their brains start creating these promotions. But yeah, promotions are a great way to get those influencers excited about your product to sell.
And I think you've answered this one already, but AJ says, can this be done from outside of the US? And I think you said absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because wherever you live, people still need to buy stuff, right? So just make sure you're the one they buy it from.
Okay, that's all the ones in the Q&A, but we have more in the chat. One person says, do you offer support via site or just Facebook?
Jen, great question. So email, you can always email me. There's Facebook. yeah, I answer questions all the time on email, and it's Alison, ALISON at becauseIcanclan.com. Yeah, we've got like an amazing team that I've trained to help answer. Like if I can't get to it, there's an amazing team, because I just get bombarded with like hundreds of questions. And so I've trained a team to help. And then when it's something they can't answer, like I'm answering questions all the time, because like literally we want you guys to succeed with this. So we want to get you unstuck. And that's why another reason why we do that Facebook Live is because we want to get you unstuck.
And Jen said, will there be a replay? There will be a replay, Jen. Once the replay is available, I will get it out to you guys. It'll be a little bit before that, but once it's ready, I'll get it out to you.
Cool.
Right.
Oh, well, there's more questions. Oh, okay. Oh, Dan says, I came in late. Are you doing your own shipping? Okay, so Dan, here's the thing. Drop shipping, I don't like drop shipping because I think you work too hard and someone else takes your margins, right? And so what I like to do is I hate shipping. Like, hate's not a strong enough word. To pick that label, oh my gosh, I hate that. So I actually train people to do it. And that has worked for me really well. In the beginning, when I was working out of my garage, I would pay my neighbors to do it. And now I've trained a team and they do it now. But I like to keep that money in my pocket where it belongs versus giving it to a drop shipping company where you make pennies.
Or you send it to a fulfillment center like me.
Or you send it to a fulfillment center. Yes, yes, yes. I would totally agree with that. You said you didn't like tech. Are you doing your own influencers? Or wait, are you doing your own website or strictly using influencer sites? No, I do. I hate tech. So I use platforms like Shopify or ClickFunnels. My first website I did hire someone to do, and it literally, like I'm not kidding when I say this, cost me millions of dollars to build. It was such a nightmare. I didn't understand what they said. And so from that, I now use those two platforms because they work. Mine always had issues. And so those are the two platforms that I love to use. And on Instagram, I do what's called a clan drop, CLANDROP, and I show you the back end of it. I like the behind the scenes of how it all works. And I think our next clan drop's coming up September 6th. And I'm like, okay, let's hit refresh. Let's see what the sales are. Oh, I wish I would have changed that. Oh, I should have changed that. And then I go into the Facebook group and then I give more details because they understand a little bit more of what's going on. So good.
We had one question way back in the beginning about the $30. It was like $30 coupon off and then $30 something.
Yeah,
you said
that was one promotion we ran. It was free plus shipping and handling. And so it was $13.95. It was a free product, and then they paid $13.95 for the product. And so that was a promotion that we ran. We ran that one. We ran 2 for 1. We ran 3 for 1. But their margins, they paid 57 cents a scarf. After that, so in China or in America, they paid, I think it was $2.50 or $3. But when they found out that it was starting to sell, they went overseas and then they were paying 57 cents a scarf. And so their margins were ginormous. So they were able to play with those margins more and set up some fun codes. So yeah, that's a great question.
And they did those codes through the influencer sites?
Yeah. Yep. Well, no. The influencers sent them to their site. You can go to their site right now. It's called iScarf, the number 2, iScarf 2. And that's where they would send people over to it. They still do.
So they redirect them to the site. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
It is. So it's they get their email list. They get their, that's the beauty of working with influencers versus selling on Amazon. No offense to any Amazon people. But when you work with influencers, you get that list. You get that email list. You get real customers. It's not just a email list, right? You get customers' email lists that your product is in their home. You've already been in their lives. And so to sell to them is going to be a lot easier than to selling to a cold audience.
I don't know what that.
Woohoo, Jen! Woohoo! Can I party a little bit, John?
You can party all you want. And we'll get, what do you call it, to buy the house too, no?
We party a lot. We like to over deliver. You guys will see. Some of you will be getting some snail mail soon.
So I don't know if you want to share this a little bit, but you talked about bloggers and blogging influences, but you also mentioned to me about Instagram influences. If somebody wants to go about trying to find Instagram influences, how would they go about doing that?
So there's actually, you get their ratings. You can go in and you can find out their ratings. And then depending on their engagement number, what pulls up, that's how you know if they've got a good engagement, right? Because if you've gone to influencers that have 2 million followers and they've got one comment, well, you know they just bought their followers. It's all junk, right? So it's based on engagement. And then you go up and you make sure that they sell other people's products in their Instagram stories or in their feed. So if they've never sold products before, they're going to stink, like big time. And so there's a strategy behind it of, can they sell, or are they selling other people's products, and do they have a good engagement? There's a company that I work with, and they sell like crazy amounts of a specific product. I actually consult with them, like crazy amounts, you guys, it'll blow your mind. And they say they've actually worked with influencers that have huge followings, kind of your famous people. And they say they are horrible to work with, which I also would agree, because I've tried it too, and they don't convert. So it's really your micro influencers, the ones that don't have this huge, ginormous engagement. It's the ones that have a strong community. That's what you're looking for. Your communities are going to out convert your big numbers any day. Instagram influence covered inside the course at section 13. And I literally take you like step by step, because there is a formula to do it.
I saw a question a while back too, where someone asked, it's a video course. They said it's not a 40-hour video course. They said they don't have 40 hours to sit there and watch videos. So they were asking about the time of the videos as far as the whole course entailed in itself.
Yeah. So I'm going to get in and let me look. I should add up the time. But the thing is, it's not, like I said before, it's like a choose your own story. So my sister, she didn't want to build a website at all. Like, she was totally hands off, didn't want a URL, didn't want any of that stuff. So she was able to work with specific, like these deal site marketplaces, and made her money that way. My daughters, they wanted to build their own site. And so they worked in this area. And then there's a third area. So I show you step 1, step 2, or step 3, and then you get to decide which course that you want to take. So let's say you're experienced in this, and you're like, you know what, I want to get higher sales, then you would go straight to step 3 in it. And so you wouldn't be watching the whole, like if you're in step 3, you wouldn't be watching the beginner stuff, right? If you're in step 2, you'd skip some of the beginner stuff. If you're in step 1, you'd skip some of the ending stuff because you're not there yet. And so this, like, you literally get in and you look at this roadmap and it tells you where to go. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah, and I think you summed it up really good. I think basically what you're saying is it's built and tailored to whatever level you're at that point.
It is. Yeah, because I know, like, people come in at all different levels. Some have LLCs, some don't even know what an LLC is. And so that's why I just released it probably 4 months ago, and my group went crazy wild over it. I was pretty excited about it. It took me a while to get it all together. We had people review it. So I'm pretty proud of what was built. And it's visual too. So if you're a visual learner, you'll love it.
Yeah, that's me. I love visual. So there's a lot of people out there that like that. The other thing is, I know that obviously you can't take everybody, so this will close at some point. Do you have a deadline of when this is closing, when people absolutely cannot get in?
Yeah, we end it in 96 hours, 4 days.
Just for those of you on here that didn't realize that there is a timeline to this.
Yeah. I close it up so I can focus on those that that decided to go all in, so I can focus on them. And then you have to wait until it reopens again to get back in. But I'm telling you guys right now, like, I'm not high pressuring you. The seasons are your high pressure. Like, the seasons I can smell fourth quarter Now, the holiday shopping season, November is the biggest month out of the entire year. Like, let that be your pressure to make this happen. Don't miss out on it. Like,
Yeah, fourth quarter is, I mean, if you're going to invest in something like this, you're going to recoup it really quickly in fourth quarter, because fourth quarter is, any online seller, especially Amazon sellers, will tell you that they make most of their money in the fourth quarter for the whole year.
yep. Yes. It's magic. It's magic what happens in fourth quarter. And so you should be like cushioning your bank account versus putting everything on credit cards those months.
So I don't know if you guys have any more questions or not. I mean, there's some really great questions today. I mean, you guys had a lot of good questions and different topics that you had for you. Did we have something special we were going to do? With products or something that we talked about?
Yes. How should we do it though, John?
I'm going to let you look through the chat real quickly. You can scan up and down it. And the people that have been the most active, I would say those are the ones you probably would want to reward. I mean, I don't know. It's up to you. I'll host it and let you decide.
Perfect. Okay, so anybody that's still on, how many do we have on the chat still?
I think there's at least 28, right? I can see right now.
Okay, guys, I want you to choose a number 1 through 20. Now, okay, I have to wait. Hang on. Don't choose it yet. It has to be in the United States. You have to be in the United States to play because it's big. Choose a number between 1 and 100. And the person, I gotta write my number down. The person that gets the closest, I'm going to send you $100 in products of my products just hot off the boat that I will be selling in fourth quarter. So you're going to get some of my best products I've ever sold. And I'm going to deliver it to you because you guys stuck around with us and it's been, I don't know, almost 2 hours now. You guys deserve a prize. So first person to get the closest gets it. But you have to remember has to be in the USA. Okay. Some of you are really close.
Hopefully you can see all those numbers. They're going quick.
Hey, Sue got it. Sue Makito. Makito. Did I say that right? You got number 3. Woohoo, Sue! I'm going to send you $100 just dang packed good stuff to your front door of some of my top selling products I've ever had. So Sue, can you email either me at Alison, ALISON at becauseICANclan.com or email John? John, I don't know what it's her daughter's softball number. We'll be doing this business. Sue, how old is she? Maybe I'll gear more stuff towards her age. 18? Okay. All right. I'm going to gear stuff more her age. That's so good. That's so fun. so fun. For fundraising for softball. That's even better. That's so good.
So you can email me at mitwebinars@gmail.com also, and I'll make sure that I forward it over to Alison as well.
Cool. All right. I stopped screen share. Is that okay? Do I need to go back?
No, that's fine. I think that that was awesome. Guys, any more questions? I know we ran over a lot here, but I told you that it was going to be full of a lot of information. And
that's so fun, you guys. We have so much fun in that group.
If you're seriously looking to take your business to the next level or even start a business, this is something where I can tell you my son and I do private label a lot. And we spend a lot on ad spend on Facebook ads. And now it just gave us a whole new perspective of a way to do it. I knew about influencers, and we use influencers, and we use coupon codes and stuff like that, but I never even looked at influencers as paying the influencers. Normally, what most people do is they give away the product to influencers, and then the influencers write something about it in their group, and then you give coupons to some of their people in their group. This is totally different. This is like, hey, we'll give you the product, but also you can make, I think you said 10% or something like that, the influencer actually makes. So it's a win-win for you, a win-win for them, and a win-win for the audience. So it's just an awesome way to do it without having to put out all that capital for ad spend, whether it's Amazon or Facebook.
I haven't spent, well, I did like $200, and I knew it was a complete waste of money to Facebook. But my influencers, you guys, like to write them out a check for $6,000 that I'm doing for this gal, this is like life-changing to her. we've got a long-term relationship, and I think at the end of the year, she'll be like around $250,000 in sales. Zero Facebook ad spend, guys. Zero. And I know like every single one, she only gets paid if she sells. And so it's a win-win.
Absolutely. So if they want to reach out to you, Alison, how do they do that other than your emails? Is there any way they can follow you if they want to follow you? Can you put that in the chat so that they have the access to that?
Yeah, my Alison J. Prince is my Instagram. Facebook is Alison J. Prince, same, or Because I Can Clan. We're a clan, we're a family in this journey of getting our financial goals. So that's why I call it Because I Can Clan. You'll see a lot of people wearing shirts. You'll see how those are earned. You can't actually buy those shirts. You actually earn those shirts, which is kind of fun. I'm on YouTube. Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram are my main players right now. Or you can go to AlisonJPrince.com.
Twitter?
I don't do Twitter. I know, I should, but I don't. How long have I been doing this? Jana, I've been doing e-commerce for almost a decade, and I've been teaching for almost 2 years now. So I started it and I totally bombed. And then I went and took some training on how to teach better. And I did that January. So it'll be 2 years this January. And I've been really focusing on teaching better and building my content and helping people get more success. So that's been my sheer focus the last 2 years. Almost 2 years is really buckling down because that mom bear instinct, like it literally, I don't know, like the good vibes that happen when I get an email that says, hey, Alison, we just sold $10,000 this week. My husband's going to quit because it's been happening for a while. You've just changed our lives. Like that means more to me than me going and selling $64,000 in product. Like it's a different feeling. And I like the feeling of people succeeding. I know it sounds weird, and I never would have believed it until I actually experienced it. So, yeah.
Jen says she's not seeing anything that you're putting in the chat.
Oh, darn it.
I don't know why.
Oh, it's because I've been doing it too. I'm sorry. Remember how I told you I had tech issues?
Yeah.
You guys. Whoops. And I even messed up. Can you please ignore that one? Oh my gosh, you guys. If I don't know tech and I have this many issues and I can do this stuff, you guys. Okay, here's my Instagram handle, Facebook. All that stuff right there. And like this morning I did a Facebook Live. So every Tuesday at 10 I do Facebook Lives in the public, on the public page, Alison J. Prince. And I talk about more of the mental stuff that gets in our heads from starting a business. And then in the private Facebook group, I talk more details and go into depth. Just because my clan understands it versus outsiders. They're like, wait, what does e-commerce mean? What does URL mean? And so like, I've trained my people to understand. So you'll see me on both like public and private doing Facebook Lives. But the public's more about like the mental issues that we run into as entrepreneurs about how not to be embarrassed when you can't type in a webinar chat. What is the private Facebook group and how do you get in? So Jen, once you should have gotten an email if you bought to the link to the Facebook group. If you haven't, just email me and we'll make sure you get in. But it's 0-100K with Alison J. Prince. That's the name of it. But you'll be getting emails and follow-up and logins to get going on that. So it's good.
All right, guys, we're almost at 2 hours. I got an echo.
Now.
Do you hear an echo?
No.
No, I got an echo for some reason on my side. Anyways, almost 2 hours, guys. This has been awesome as usual. You know, thank Alison for being here with us today. She did an awesome job, and she's got a great system that she's built for you guys. If you guys want to take advantage of it, it's great. I think it's something that being fourth quarter, you can only be successful if you follow her system. I mean, a 10 and 13-year-old can do it. I think that anybody can do it if they put their mind to it. It's like anything else. And the fact that it's video, some of you guys like video. I like to follow along with video. Visual works better for me than actual written. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. Hopefully it was everything that, you know, I said it was going to be, and it lived up to your expectations. And hopefully you guys check out ProSellerTalk.com. That's my website. Allison's been over there too. She knows there's a lot of great speakers that have been on my webinars over there. It's a great place to go and a great place to, even this webinar at some point in time will end up over there as far as an information source for you. It's a membership only site. Just check it out. That's ProSellerTalk.com. Alison, great having you. Great experiencing all your success that you've had with your children. And I know that you have your two boys. I've seen it, and I know where they're heading. They want to be, you know, I know that rocks is not the only thing in their future. They're going to be doing other stuff, and it's been awesome. Dennis says Alice is a doll. So absolutely, she's very sincere, very true to herself, and I love the fact that she loves helping people like I like to help people. So hopefully you got a lot out of this webinar. Hopefully you come back and see other webinars. I have another great webinar coming up Thursday. I think you guys will find that one awesome as well, and keep continuing to watch the webinars. Get on there. Above all, this webinar especially, tell people about it. I mean, when you get the replay, share that replay with, especially the ones out there that have family members and young children. We have to be looking at our young children and giving them a better option in what's out there in life. I mean, there's just way too much negativity out there on TV, in the news and stuff like that. So do me a favor and do Alison a favor. If nothing else, share this with people that you know that have kids that you think would be like, wow, this would be great to get those kids involved with something like this. I think that would be awesome for you guys to do it. Again, guys, God bless as always. Thank you for being on my show. Alison, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you so much. This was fun.